You're a stand-up guy. You've always preached accountability. Looking back over your 11 years at ESPN,
12.
11,
Yeah.
12, is there anything you would do differently, or do you leave knowing that you were fully yourself? Or, what are your thoughts, man?
That's a good question. It depends on when you ask me. Like you ask me, people in public, like OGs and like aunties and stuff, and they tell me they proud of me, and they proud of like the way I represent the community. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. Because that means the world to me. Or like when I go home and this kid, from the West Bank is like so accepted in New Orleans now. Like I wouldn't change that. Like never. Like all I ever wanted to do was be accepted, and want it. So yeah, like that, I wouldn't change. If you ask me, probably the first like Monday of football, when all my friends get to do something like we did like super special together, yeah, I'd probably change it, I'd probably work harder to like be who they wanted me to be, or like build relationships with like bosses or executives, cause like it's just a relationship game. Cause like I just see these people on TV who like aren't better than me, but I know I've never been at the tables they've been accepted at. So yeah, there's some things I would do differently. I feel like there's a group of individuals who wanted to like devalue my voice, who wanted to take away my platform. I feel like I let them win.
What it do? It's DOA niggas back with another episode of Putting Shit Together. As you can see, we going off of that Ryan Clark mumbo jumbo. Everybody know that recently Ryan Clark, amongst others who were longer tenured at ESPN, got laid off, got fired or whatever. But for some reason, Ryan Clark's was made a big to-do out of it because they went to a commercial break on NFL Live and came back and Ryan Clark was fired. You know what I'm saying? ESPN gave their reasoning for it. They said that there was a leak in the information and they didn't want the leak to take precedence over the actual action of laying them off or firing them. So they went ahead and did it before the leak had rose to the surface, basically. But that's really neither here nor there. What I'm here to talk about in regards to this incident is the level of acceptance that Ryan Clark is always constantly seeking. Now, for those of you that don't know Ryan Clark or his background, from what I've heard, and I'm not going to do no research on it, I ain't going to lie to you unless I have to, because I just got other shit to do. As y'all know, I haven't posted to the channel in a while, man. I be busy because I run my own business. So when you don't see me, it's usually a good thing as far as financially for me. But yeah, I'm not gonna look too far into it, but I heard he's not from, the hood of Louisiana or nothing like that. And I think because of that, he's constantly seeking acceptance from I guess people in the hood and also people in corporate spaces. As you can see, he out of his own mouth admitted that he is always wanting to be accepted, and that's a problem, but you can see it in his actions. But the thing I want to get to first, I guess, is that people who think like Ryan Clark are very disrespectful to the movements that others are making, have made, want to make. As far as championing civil rights type issues or black people's issues, so to speak. Like, why would a cat like Ryan Clark believe that you're going to get on Disney's platform and be able to speak about racial injustices, the rigging of the legal system, when Disney most likely has stake and collaboration in the things that you're speaking out against? One thing that I never really respected or understood is why cats want to use the YT's platforms to speak out against YT's. You can't use they megaphone to blast them. You just can't do that. And it's it's no it's not confusing as to why you can't do that. It only makes sense. Like, bro, I'm not about to give you my megaphone to tell folk how wrong I am for what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that this is orchestrated. A lot of cats have came out and said they think that Ryan Clark did this shit strictly for publicity, as far as the crying about getting fired and not being accepted by these high ups at ESPN. And to be honest, based on his track record, I can't argue against that. That's probably the case. You know what I'm saying? But whether it is or not, it would be better if it was, because if you really up here crying that they done fired you and trying to make it seem like it's a racial thing or they had something specifically against what you was doing, I mean, it's a business. So when they're looking at their bottom line, you might not be moving the needle in the right direction with the takes that you're having, with the way that you're presenting yourself, or maybe they could just want to go in a different direction that they think is going to be more lucrative for them, because it's business. So they don't really owe you any real super explanation as to why they let you go. But they let white dudes go that have been with them for 30 years. So why do we believe that this is just a racial thing for Ryan Clark? But just to double back on my original point is, like, bro, you being disrespectful. If it was that easy to be platformed and speak on social justice, don't you think many other people would be doing it already? Have humongous platforms and be speaking out against racial injustices? But see, here's the thing, man. Ryan Clark is a member of the Kappas. He's a boule. He's a boule just like Stephen A is, just like many other Shaq is. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on. If these cats ain't boule, they Masons. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I believe this is all orchestrated. We got the Nolan Wells issue going on right now. That Carmelo Anthony verdict came in, And now we got Ryan Clark up here crying once again, acting like ESPN is doing something to him. I believe that this is part of ESPN's playbook. They like this because if they didn't, they would have fired Ryan Clark a long time ago when he was making illegitimate claims about Kyron Lacey being innocent. And then once the evidence came out, we saw that that was not the case. So if they really wasn't in on this, I believe they would have cut him a long time ago. But I think that it does something beneficial for them that he gets up here and plays the race clown card on their network. Because for one, I guess it makes it seem as if they allow him to speak out on social justice. But then he's so ignorant in his speech up on the alleged social justice that it's a bad look for the people he claims he's representing for, which is us. You know what I'm saying? And not one person could speak for us because we don't all think the same. We don't all feel the same. A lot of people feel like Carmelo Anthony is completely innocent and don't need no jail time. I'm not one of those people. I've been a track athlete for a lot of years. I mean, a lot of years, a reputable athlete at that, man. Only thing pokey that I'm bringing in a track bag at a high school track meet is my track spikes. There is no reason to have anything that can really be used as a weapon. On top of it, it's a lot of staff and it's a school event. You see what I'm saying? So why I would ever feel like I'm gonna be in a position where I'm gonna have to defend myself like that is kind of a flawed mentality from the beginning. And I just don't believe you should really be able to bring any kind of weapons if that was the case to a high school track meet. But when somebody lose their life and, you know, it could be avoided, then I'm not down for that. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say we all don't think the same and we all don't believe the same thing. So to try to appease all of us and feel like you're speaking for all of us is ignorant in itself. But you want to use the YT man's platform and you want to speak out against them, that's putting them in a sticky situation, a bad position. And I don't really believe that, you know, you should expect to be accepted when you're doing things like that. Now, we saw Earl Spence speaking about the Aboriginals of Australia after his post-fight interview, pre-retirement interview. And I thought that, man, I gave nothing but kudos to Earl Spence for doing that. Now, you can do that. If you put the microphone in front of me, I don't have to hijack your show, but I can use my moment to highlight what I want to highlight. But you see, Earl is not employed by these people who put that mic in his face. So, you know, that's like you capturing a candid moment, and this is what I chose to do with it. Now, you know, you can air it or you can cut it. That's your option. But I like when people do that and use their moment in order to bring light to something that they feel like is important to them. But you're on a sports network and you're talking about political, social, racial issues. Excuse me. I just don't think that that's going to go over very well. And you shouldn't expect to keep your employment if that's what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? But I do believe that ESPN is trying to slowly nudge themselves into politics. And I just believe that there's other reasons why they fired Ryan Clark, because they let him do a lot of things that I personally probably wouldn't have let him do. You know what I'm saying? Being who they are, I wouldn't have let them do that for real. But it must be to some benefit of their own that he did what he was doing up there. But it's like, it's crazy, bro. Why are you up there crying when you got a platform? You have your own platform. So why are you crying about being on a platform? That's another thing. Like, be self-made, my nigga. It makes me question the success that he is having with this platform. It's like something don't add up. Either you're not being satiated with the success that you're having with your own platform, or like a lot of cats are saying, this was just to bring more eyes to that platform. So it was like a stunt to get on here and cry about some shit and play the race card, which is what he does. RC stands for race card. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was his ploy. That was the thing he was trying to do. But man, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? Do y'all think that these was real tears, or if he's just kind of doing the content over everything type of strategy? Do you think that ESPN allowed him to speak out in the ways that he was speaking out when he was employed with them? Do you think that they was privy to it and they kind of co-signed it on the low? Do you think it's like a stunt by ESPN? Do y'all think that ESPN is tanking out? Or what? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments, man. You know I like the dialogue with y'all in these comments, man. As always, it's a pleasure having y'all tune in. It's peace and love, truth and light, wisdom and insight. DOA, putting shit together. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.